What's up? What's up? What's up? Life belongs. I love your comment. Yeah, that computer never seems to load, does it? It's Blue Cat. He's just on the keyboard, just jamming too many inputs, and it just never wants to load. But GM Mr. Rick, GM Life Belongs, GM Tanky, GM Sheepy, what's up? How you guys doing? It's a for once in a very long time, it is a rainy day in LA, like an actual rainy day. It's not just like misting, actually raining here, and I couldn't be any happier. Basically, I have missed the rain so much. And I have like my cat in the window. It's just a whole vibe right now, like looking out my window. So I'm excited for today's stream. Stream title says redacted. That was me just being like, so basically we're gonna work on an animation, which is like a hand coming in and stamping the screen. What that's for, that's what I'm gonna leave as the question mark. So that's where the redacted came in. I kind of just, you know, I had to add a little bit of mystery to the title. Try to get some people in here. Little bit of clickbait, not gonna lie. But yeah, it's kind of similar to, so for anyone who happened to not be here for last Tuesday's stream, usually we do luck of the draw, but we have so many emotes that I just wanted to put a pause on that for a little bit. We'll most likely come back to luck of the draw. But I have some stuff I need to work on, and if I can just kind of be vague about what it's for, then I can do it on stream. So it's a way for me to be productive and animate something, make content out of it. What's up, PCX? How you doing? Spinning that shirt around. So I want to do, like I said, it's gonna be a hand coming in, like stamping the screen is the goal today. And what's up, Link? Link knows what it's about. And we probably do some other assets for it. Let's get redacted. Yeah. So figured it'd be a fun thing to do. I've been enjoying kind of being productive and doing stuff on stream. It's really fun. And then once you guys actually get to see this thing come to life, you can be like, oh, I remember that stream. It's sort of the hope. And last Tuesday, we did the little like capsules, which we showed. Oh, does what you're making go hand in hand with the capsules? This one doesn't specifically go with the capsules. It is kind of similar. So sort of, yes, but it's not the exact same thing. If I can allude to it a little bit more, but they're kind of like a part of the same general thing, which is why I want to get them done on stream. And Baja Blast is stored in the capsules. You'll never know what's in the capsules. And that's the best part. Also, what's up, Mojave? It's a web of many mysteries. Yeah, I'll allow Link to be the one to unfold any mysteries. Am I the only one watching on YouTube? Maybe. that meow came in at the perfect time. 3 mysteries. Yeah. Web 3 coincidence? Yeah, not everyone watches on YouTube, but we do stream to YouTube because it creates like a nice kind of catalog of all the streams. So, but we can read you from here. We can all chat. That's the cool thing with Restream. And so you can get that #1 XP spot on YouTube. It's made it that much easier. But if you do want to join the fun and collect coins, head on over to Twitch. But you're allowed to watch wherever you want. That's the cool thing about Restream. Although today, I swear, I ticked the to stream on X, and then I went live, And I was like, why isn't it saying I'm live right now? What? And I just started like thinking of a million reasons, and then I checked, and it just wasn't checked to stream there. Oh, that's a big emote. Is that your emote? Yes. Wait. You can just gigantify anything? That's awesome. I wish it showed up on screen. Does it show up on like Twitch chat that way? No. Gotcha. Okay. Had to check it out. So let's see if let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, thank God. The camera works, y'all. The camera works. First shot today. I think I found the issue of why it wasn't working occasionally. So hopefully that's good there. So the sketch portion might be kind of short today. So if anyone has any like silly drawings that they want me to draw, I am more than happy to. But otherwise I'll get into it, because like basically what we'll need to do today, and the shadows might be weird today on the drawing board because it's rarely a rainy, overcast day. Actually, I don't think it's ever been a rainy day on stream since I've streamed. Because I don't think it's really rained like how it's raining today since May of this year in LA. And so for today, to start, like basically what we're thinking about here, just kind of give you an idea, because we're gonna have like imagine, so this will kind of give it away, maybe. This will be like a phone screen. It's kind of like the dimensions we're working in. Okay, got like our phone screen there. Zoom in a little more. And then we will have something in the middle. And then what I basically need is like a stamp to come in. And go, boom, stamp, basically. Let me put that back on. Silly doodle idea. Blue Cat holding an umbrella, protecting Chugs from the rain while getting soaked himself. Love that. Let's do that. I'm into that, actually. We need some backstory. What kind of phone is it? Whose phone is it? What type of service do they have? Oh, no. They've got the, what do you think the phone service provider in Cooltopia would be? In, like, Sapphire Town. And, like, I guess Artie kind of has a phone. And Joe has, like, a flip phone. The technology is, it's really interesting of who has what. But see, those are all good questions that we need to answer. So, I kind of want to do a doodle. The doodle helps me, it kind of like just adds some time to the drawing stream. But also it kind of warms me up, because I had this, I knew I was going to be right about it, but I went to a wedding this weekend, and even though it's the same amount of time from last stream to now, as it always is, whenever you go on vacation, it just feels like so much longer. So I feel like I've been away from the drawing board for too long. I'm a little rusty. Oh, they have Zunes? Man, shout out Zune. I wish Zune did better. Unfortunately, iPhone just took over. Because, yeah. But Zunes were sick. I loved Zunes. Scratch Wireless? That sounds real. That sounds like a legit carrier, actually. Okay, so we're gonna have, like, Blue Cat, and I kind of want him like, kind of want him like bending over. He'll have one arm out, and then one arm like that. Actually, maybe we'll stretch his arm more, so it's more over here. Is that in the frame? Yeah, cool. And I'll have like some sort of umbrella right there. Although I guess that should be higher up. And then Chugs will be like, Chugs will be in front of that. or like there, and I guess make Blue Cat just a tiny bit bigger now. That's where his hand will go. I just realized he's the height difference is way off. So he needs Chugs. Let's finish the feet of Blue Cat because we need to find the ground here. So that's probably like the ground, and then Chugs needs to be like down here. Okay. Cool. There's the bones of our drawing. The bones. For long distances, you're better off on the fracture network. Yeah, I heard the fracture network is like a lot quicker and has less fees. I remember the Microsoft MP3 player died like Betamax. I actually don't remember the Microsoft MP3 player. I do remember the Walkman. It still has strong cult following though. Does it really? The panel I did for it was packed. That's so sick, actually. I didn't know there was still a cult following for Zune. What was the one big thing Zune could do? Couldn't you just like share music phone to phone? Oh, the Microsoft MP. Oh, Microsoft made Zune? I don't know why I don't remember that detail. The mini disc player, anyone remember that? Yeah, just like a normal. Is that not a CD player? Just normal CD player? Man, I mean, looking back, do I really miss my CD player? No. Like, no. But it was fun having like a CD player and then like your like sleeve of CDs. Oh no, it's not. I'm old. I don't remember a mini disc player. Interesting, PCX. I don't know why I guess I never looked it up, or I'm just like, oh, it's just Zune. Zune is the company. We should give Chugs little rain boots. Okay. Wireless sharing, it was it really called that? Mojave. Was it really called that? No way. Was it really called that? Why? I'm just trying to think about the I'm just trying to think of like the creative room of when people were like coming up with a name for that. You know what we should call it? You know what makes sense for sharing music wirelessly? Yeah, I'm actually gonna scoot Blue Cat over a little bit. Here. It was, I swear. That's so... I just like... Obviously, it's like a Monka TOS word now. Less weird back then, I feel like. But it's just like... I don't know. That just doesn't scream like, oh, I'm about to share music with you. I'm in awe of how quickly you just drew that hand. Really? It's kind of bad, though. It's like, basically when you've drawn enough hands, you know the shapes you need for it, and so... God, and I trust me, lifelong. I wish I need to do a whole, like, hand study. Because it could be a lot better. I think it was a code name and it stuck. Oh, well, okay, I've been there. Ayo's new album, won't you? That's what I'm saying. Like, even that just doesn't sound right. Loading up songs on Napster to download on dial-up. Oh my god. And then like LimeWire. How many viruses I got? I don't know if this is a story I should tell on stream, but I think it's funny for anyone who's used LimeWire / torrents. So I'm 30 now, so just to give you perspective of my age, when Superbad came out, the movie Superbad with Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I was old enough to know how to use LimeWire, And so I download Superbad on LimeWire, and I wait a week for it to download, because that's how long things took to download on LimeWire if it was like multiple gigabytes. I'm so excited. I get home from school. I'm like, okay, today's the day it finishes. I get to watch Superbad now. Turns out it was not that movie. And you could probably connect the dots if Superbad. It was something else I shouldn't have been watching. So, very lewd stuff, if you will. And I was massively disappointed. I was like, no! I just downloaded all of this on my computer. Droid, what's up? No, not too late. We haven't even gotten to the main portion of the stream. We're just kind of drawing something silly because it's a rainy day in LA. Sounds super bad stuff. Yeah, it was like, I was just like, no. I was like, you know, I think I was in like 7th grade or something at the time. So anyways. But man, LimeWire was such a thing, such a vibe. Blue Cat's looking a little, I tried to make him like hunched over. He's kind of hitting that hunch, but I don't know what his facial expression should be, because he's getting soaked, which we'll probably need to draw here. Okay, let me lock in for a second. And then Chugs will be in front of him, so this will actually... I shouldn't have fully drawn the hand yet, but... And this is supposed to be a quick doodle, which I'm... forgot about. I should just draw this, He's gonna have little rain boots on. Chugs. Oh, whoops. Like made him wink. Mr. Chug has his man cat servant. That's exactly what this is. Also, welcome on in, JL. Yeah, he's like on his, it's almost like he's like on his way to school or something. I'll like do little puddles in the ground. And then Blue Cat is just like, I'm trying not to make it look like sweat. I'm trying to make it look like he's actually just like soaking wet. Which actually maybe this hunchness kind of works, because his t-shirt will be like this. Okay, now I'm just kind of drawing it quickly. But see, I needed this because I needed this drawing as like a warm-up drawing for what we're about to do. LimeWire felt like gambling, the hype of finding out that it's the right file. It really was like gambling, and like my story can contest to, you could wait a week and find out the thing that you've been downloading the whole time was not at all what you wanted. So sad. Don't want the carton to get wet. Oh, gross, actually. I didn't even think about that. You know when you open like a little carton and you like open it wrong, like the mouthpiece part? Looking back, I realized cartons really do kind of just like want a straw for it. They can get so gross. That. Is it raining anywhere else? For anyone else, I mean, today? because it is a nice rainy day in LA, which never happens. I'm just kind of like drawing these like little squiggle marks to kind of represent that he's soaking wet. Blue cat here. I better get back to work. Yeah. No, if you're still here, Link, I'm like, as much as I want to play Pokemon after stream, because we got a really good run going, I'm gonna play like a tiny bit of it. I have a certain cutoff point, but I'm like, I kind of want to get back to after this. I have more stuff I want to work on. That like I'm excited to work on. But I'm also excited to play Pokemon. Yeah, there. We did our doodle for today. Is music so chill? Yeah, shout out the lo-fi channel. The lo-fi girl channel. Is it, what are they called? What's the station called? Oh, I thought they changed their name. It was like something cow. I forget. But yeah. Shout out them because it's royalty free music, and I swear it does work that you just kind of lock in on like studying or drawing or working, whatever. Is that Blue Cat or Grimer? He's on his way to being Grimer. He's just slowly melting in. Okay, so I'm glad we did this. I feel warmed up now. W heart, thank you. It's so good, the lo-fi channel. So this is some of you are probably like, what am I looking at here? So the real mission for today, because what we just did was like a nice little warm up, is we're gonna have, this is kind of like a phone screen, the dimensions of it roughly, because it doesn't need to actually be the dimensions of it, but I would like it to fit into a phone screen. But it's basically gonna be like a stamp coming, oh wait, maybe I can demonstrate. Kind of like a stamp comes in, stamp, stamp. And so that's what I'm trying to animate, is like a hand coming from out of screen, stamping, maybe add some like cloud puff when it like hits, like a cloud of dust coming up, just for impact. And then up again, which basically is just reverse frames. So we just need to animate a hand coming in and stamping, and then go up. And I kind of expect this might take me a sec because I'm trying to get better at animation, and I'm trying to do things I don't normally animate. And some of the emotes were easier to animate, and this feels like it's just a tiny bit more difficult. But I'm excited to do it on stream because I think it'll be fun. So we'll have like our stamp here. Let's kind of outline it a little bit more. The hand is gonna be actually Life Belongs. You mentioned the hand. I already expect the hand is gonna be like the hardest part here, because I want this one to be like correct. So I gotta really think about it. But we'll have the stamp here, and then one thing I also kind of want to consider, which I'm more than happy to get suggestions on, is I sort of want to fill the screen like on the edges with like things, just like fill the screen. So this could be like a bunch of pieces of paper that have already been stamped on with like different cool drawings. Maybe there's like an ink pad here, but we're gonna leave like this section. There needs to be like a section that cannot be touched by any illustration, but then like there'll be illustration kind of packed in around it, is the idea, just to fill it in and make it look better. Van, GM. Got a quick first pass for the hand that is spot on. Oh, as a quick, sorry, I read that weird. It's there. It's like making the hand. It's almost like I should draw the hand first. I should draw exactly where I want the hand. Kind of using. Oh my god, sorry, sorry for the gigantic hand there. I can't really, but I'm just trying to demonstrate. I'm trying to like look at my own hand and kind of figure out how it needs to be from there, and then draw the stamp like in the hand. So actually what might help is if I got something in my room here. I think this might work. I have this like big pen here. Hey Van, thank you for resubscribing, dude. Thank you. What did I miss? So the only thing you missed, and thank you again for the resubscribe, enjoy those emotes, is we did a warm-up drawing because it's raining in LA. Like, it's actually raining, not just sprinkling. It's raining. So good. Actually, speaking of, I'll get something up in that. So, but this is all you missed. I wanted to do like a little warm-up doodle. Thank you, Sheepy, for the suggestion. And now this will sort of warm me up for what we're gonna do today, which you haven't really missed anything for today, but we need to draw a stamp, like a hand coming in and stamping. But I'm gonna pause the lo-fi for a second and probably get a hopefully not a DMCA strike from, or a copyright strike. In LA. But I have a tradition that none of you know about because it's never rained on stream. But whenever it rains in LA, I play this song by Frank Job C. If it plays. Cool. So let's get to it. When I moved to LA, I also found this song. And on that day, it was also raining. And so it's become tradition to me that whenever it rains in LA, I have to listen to this song. It's just how it goes. So right now I'm looking at like my hand holding a stamp, basically. So let's do the top of the stamp there. I'm kind of gonna draw like a cylinder. I actually have a whole playlist of songs that that have rain in them. So when it rains in LA, which is like every 6 months, I listen to the playlist. So the thumb kind of comes over. Trying to draw like the main keyframe here. Woke up this morning, just wanted to, yeah, blame it on the rain, purple rain, here comes the rain again, thundershock, yes. Literally, there's just like, I have a playlist that it has to say rain in the title of the, purple rain is not on there and it should be. So actually, this is kind of on the right track here. The thumb is kind of the hardest part, and I like what's going on there. And then, here, I'll make that like pitch black. This will be like the handle of the stamp here. And maybe I shouldn't have made that pitch black, because now I can't really erase that. But you can kind of see, it's like, I really have to reference my hand here. Cool. Thanks for following me on that tradition, y'all. I hadn't listened to it yet, so we can go back to the lo-fi. Shout out Frank Job C. He, one time for Halloween, he did a polka rave where, in LA, where he just, it was a rave. Everyone had to dress up Pokemon themed. Me and my gang all had the Pokemon onesies on. and Jeej was Ash Ketchum. And then they just played a bunch of music that was like video game music but remixed. And a lot of it was Pokemon music. Okay, let's maybe extend the handle there. One finger, another finger, and then there. And I think that should be it. I think that's like kind of what the hand looks like there. So let's do some erasing. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that that hand there? And then I guess it'll be like a... What do you think about this hand? That's good? Thank you, actually. I need the... Hands are so tough to draw, and this will serve... Basically what we need is just a good like base drawing, so that when we go into digital, we can kind of fine-tune the things that might be a little off. But it kind of... I feel like it looks like a stamp. It looks like a hand pushing a stamp down. We'll maybe need to add like a little bit of... like the actual pad itself, or like some 3D, give it some depth is really what I'm trying to say here. I mean, it's okay. Hey, I'm here for the truth. I'm here for the truth. It's just weird because it's like an interesting angle, like viewing it down this way. So there'll be a lot of trial and error today. And then like that'll kind of be like the wrist, which will be cut off by the screen for the most part. Bah! This could be construed as something else, lol. Oh no. Oh no! Dang it. Well, is there another way to make a stamp? I guess you could hold a stamp from the top. So, because I see what you mean. But I hope it looks like a stamp. Does anyone else think that? Because if everyone thinks it, then I really need to adjust it. Because we don't want that either. I need to know. Because like I said, you can also hold the stamp this way, you know. Bah. And then maybe, I just feel like a stamp makes the most sense. I know y'all don't know the context for it, but you are like placing something. The animation, you will not see it very long. That's true. It's gonna, yeah, that's true. The tough part is actually gonna be the in-between. This was the easy part, because now we'll have to like have like the lift up frame. I was thinking about having like puffs of cloud and you stamp to like really emphasize like impact, as if he's stamping on a dusty surface or something, although he won't be. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that drawing, but if we go with this route, I'm just trying to think of other ways. I mean, that's like what a stamp looks like, you know? It's like, draw it from a slightly different angle. Stamp with no hand. I'm like thinking, maybe I'll get let me get a reference of a stamp. Yeah, it's like a stamp. real quick. Cartoon stamp. Oh, I don't need the stamp. I need the stamper. Stamps in our office are short-handled. Yeah, that's why I'm like, there is other ways to do it. That's not like, he's not grouping it that way. Stamper. Maybe I'll add stamper. Because it's just showing me a bunch of stamps. Yeah, that helped. Okay. Well, there's one that looks exactly like mine. And then there's one that's holding it like... The problem is the angle that we're at. Like, it's like kind of a top-down view. So, you know... Oh, man, we're not zoomed. We're so zoomed in. So, like, let me get my hand again to kind of reference it. Because it could be like... Let me get my square here to reference the hand. Or when the stamp is getting placed. Because this needs to... The reason I'm drawing this frame first is because I think this one matters the most. Because that's when the stamp needs to come straight on. Which means, like, the handle will kind of have some perspective to it. That, so it's like coming, you know, at you, basically. It'll have that perspective. And this won't be here. And they have it where there's some, like, you know, decorative parts to it. And it goes like that. So I don't want to put in too much detail there. The hand could be like this. Yeah, this is tough. The arm will be coming in basically on top of it. There's my mitt. There's my mitt for now. But hand, instead of like that. I guess I'd have to keep holding this. It really helps to have the reference here. Maybe add a symbol at the end of the handle that has a secret meaning. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, it could be like a little, it could even be just a little cat head, you know, like a blue cat head. Kind of what you're saying is like, if this was like the top of the handle, it'd be like a little blue cat head on there. And then like that. Yeah, because it won't be perfectly filled in like that. I think maybe what you're referencing is, okay, so will that help? Would that help a lot? So is the problem like just that the top of this is filled in? Because I do want to avoid anyone saying this, basically. Like, this is why I really, 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 really value feedback, because you guys are seeing this like as it's being created. But you know, we could like that, and then you know, that's like the rough version of it. So does that already help? I think it'd be better with the end cap. Yeah, okay, cool. Maybe it was looking a little too round on the top. Instant diff. Okay, cool. I would rather go in the first direction that we drew, because it just feels like it has more impact with stamping it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate it. Cool. Okay, and it's fun, and it doesn't have to be a blue cat head. We can have fun with other ideas here. I even think we could kind of do the decorative parts too. You know, well, but yeah, but see, JL, that's exactly why, like, the second Sheepy said something, I'm like, there's truth to why Sheepy's saying it. Of like, other people are gonna think that, and we'll like kind of push it too far, and I want to avoid those people. Which there's also some funniness to it, but now we have a flared base. Yeah, wait, oh. Are you talking about... Now I just got confused. I just got so confused. The handle, yes, thank you. Okay. Sorry. My mind's working on a million. It was a joke. Okay. I was like, at first I was trying to find, like, yeah, anyways. And then we can add some like wood texture to that or something. And also some of the stamps have kind of like they have a different look to it. It could also be a circle. It doesn't have to be a square stamp. Although I do think the square stamp kind of works well. I'm happy with how the hand turned out. I think that's why I'm kind of married to this idea. I'm actually happy with how the perspective of that hand. Yeah, I dig this square too. There's something like cartoony about it. There's just some examples I'm looking at that I guess they add more to like the base of it. Or like, but we don't need that necessarily. Like, we're just not gonna see it. Guilty as charged. Now, I appreciate that. Because if I'm gonna be honest, that didn't even cross my mind. But the second you said it, I was like, oh, I can't unsee that now. I feel like that's what happens when you're the artist. Like, you see the full vision of it. So you're not seeing it from like a different perspective. And that's all it takes is like a comment. And you're like, oh, snaps that perspective in. So now the other tough part is we're gonna kind of need like the in-between of this. So let me get my marker back out. And this will be the tough part. So shout out Sheepy. So now I'm trying to like lift up. Oh god, this is gonna be tough. So I actually think we start with the handle here. Now that the handle kind of gives us some cool perspective. Also, for some reason I'm having issues with the like, oh, it did motion tracking, which is kind of cool because it'll like follow the lead, but I'm just trying to like lock in on the focus here, because it's kind of annoying when my hand comes in. And it happens everywhere, CLON. Oh yeah, time to... Dude, it's so funny. Someone that worked at Cool Cats, she was our old, she was our first CMO. And she got banned from, if you guys remember the game Spore, she got banned from like something big, like in the gaming industry, and she's in the gaming industry, but she was the first person to TTP in that game, and then it like blew up. It like virally blew up in that space, and then she was banned from so many things. It's so funny. I love that that's a thing, because it's so true. It's so true. How fast are people gonna degen this? Okay, so the side angle that we need is like, maybe I won't start with the handle here, so I'll delete that to make it less confusing. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. Weird. It usually stays in focus. I feel like usually on these streams, the camera does a good job at staying in focus. Okay, so that's down, and then this is like halfway up, and you hold my hand here as we do this. I'm gonna be like that, and then be like down there, and then it'll be like finger, 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 and then the thumb will be like right there. Also, I'm gonna do one more thing. Take my camera here and add some let's straight down again, and I'm gonna do the roll that way. Okay. Not Michaela. Not Michaela. That would, if y'all know Michaela, that would actually be a funny Michaela thing. I would never expect Michaela to do that. No, it was Kristen. If y'all remember Kristen. Okay, and we kind of have like the this hand is gonna take a sec to do that, and then we'll have like the. But it'll really help if we get these as sketches before going digital, because if I try doing this digitally first, I'm gonna big time struggle. Okay, this is feeling like the right direction here. The hand kind of comes over here, and then the wrist kind of goes down this way, and I'll have like this stamp. I can make the pinky go up a little bit more to get some of like the stamp there, and then we'll kind of need to adjust how like the stamp looks, like the handle and everything. Okay, so that's pretty rough there. And I actually think it's like 2. And the nice thing is, like, most of this will actually be cropped off here. So let me try to clean this up. Will be like a little blue cat head right there. And the hand might be just a little too big for this. So it's kind of, I'm gonna try to shrink it a little bit. And then erase all the parts we don't need here. Okay. I didn't even consider that this would be a weird thing to draw on stream. And then actually the stamp is kind of the hard part, but we're gonna get a certain angle of the stamp where I think like that, and this will be like the wooden part of the stamp, and then it'll help when we start animating it too, because then we can what are we stamping? That I have not alluded to. That's the part that will stay redacted. All we know is that Blue Cat is stamping. He has a job at the post office. I'll be back. See you in a sec, droid. Okay, cool. That helped. This one line that I just added, like, just did so much work. It's a mystery. Yeah. It's like, I genuinely, Link and I would just like straight up tell everyone, but we want to leave a little bit of it a surprise, so it's still like fun. Okay. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere here. I think we're getting somewhere. And I actually think we just go. We need the actual, like, the part of the stamp that's getting stamped. This is sort of just like the wooden block part. The angle to that. And there'll be like a sliver there. So, if we're looking at these together, they're kind of at different scales, but they're pretty close. Like, this will be, you know, frame 1, so be frame 2. We need many frames in between those, but I want to make sure we draw our keyframes now, because then it'll be easier to draw the rest of the frames digitally. That's like, boom. That's sort of the idea. And I think that works. I think that works. I kind of think we just have to just start animating and see if it visually makes sense. Because that's the nice thing about animation is you can fake a lot of frames and then you see it animate and you don't even can't even see those in between frames. As long as this frame is good, I think that's all that matters. Because this will be the one that holds the longest. And then it'll just reverse. So I'm wondering if I should draw another frame or do anything else here. See cloud. I don't know exactly what I need to look up here. Actually, that helped. Okay, cool. Just typed in some words and I got what I needed. I want to I probably should look up the animation it takes to get there, but I really want some puffs here. And it'll dissipate. So I don't really know what that animation looks like. I've never done it before. But it looks like we can do these cool clouds that have 3 colors to them. And I've definitely drawn clouds similar to this. You can do teeny ones too. To just emphasize, and then we could also just do some that are little line marks like that. I usually do them in 3s. Something to emphasize the impact of this, because he's gonna be stamping a lot. I think we throw this in the animation. One. DOS, what are you talking about? Do you like frame 1? Or are you talking about cloud puff 1? Back restream chat here. I think we're good with the sketching part. I think I just sort of, yeah, it looks cool. Okay, thank you. I need that reinforcement, or else I just stare at it all day. I think that's the true perk of streaming for me, is if I'm alone, I'll stare at something for so long and never feel better about it or anything. But when I'm streaming, all it takes is one person to be like, hey, it looks good. I'm back, but I unfortunately have to go. Looks really good. No issues, Droid. I'm glad that you could catch the stream, though. I hope you have a good rest of your day. For me, it'll be a nice, cozy, rainy day. But thanks for stopping by. We're gonna scan this in and head over to the drawing tablet. And then we can do Photoshop here. So this will be our artboard. Catch you later. Peace. And then I can get rid of our drawing cam here. Clear up some space on my desk. Start scanning in what we just did. Nice. Put that over here. Moving stuff around. Okay. This. I realize one thing I'll probably want to do with this artboard that we're looking at is these will be like the dimensions we need, and so I'm going to basically just make a rectangle here. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Although, oh, I'm not on the right. I need to really start using this more. Oh, please, pen work. Oh, yeah. I actually don't know the dimensions we're working at, so we're going to be doing it this way. Oh, you guys are probably like, what am I looking at here? We basically just need, I need like a layer here to represent what the artboard should be, which will be this red. And we're gonna just give it a stroke instead. And then, I guess we can just make it white too. And it's like it's not even there. So then we're gonna expand the artboard, because even though the hand will get cut off, I still want to draw it all, so that in case we need it for any reason. So let me get the scan in here now. Scans. Save. Okay. Cool. So that should transfer over to my Dropbox on this end. I probably shouldn't have shown that, but is that it? Oh my, why did that get saved there? Okay. Oh, dang it. It didn't go to my Photoshop here. Okay. Now we got this in Photoshop. We got the little rainy day up at the top. So let's we know we like this frame right here. Bring that in and get into a good spot. And this will sort of be like the reference. And so again, while we have the we have this here to represent where everything will get cut off. It can go on the top. We'll make a lock that. So we know that the stamp probably needs to be like a lot bigger, which is why a lot of this will just get cut off in the first place. Like, I'm talking about like, yeah, that big. If we're thinking that this is like a phone screen. Hell, it could maybe even be a little bit bigger. Yeah, so that's like, that's the funny thing is so much of this will get cut off. And I'm gonna continue to expand the artboard here. I think that's good. Just thinking about it. And then we can lower the opacity there. So we could probably, I'm wondering if it makes sense to start the animation process of roughly seeing it kind of go together. So let's if these two frames work and it looks decent, then we're in a good spot. We're in a very, very good spot if that's the case. Lower the opacity there. We're going to try to line these up in a way that makes sense. Maybe it's a tiny bit too big. Problem is, I don't think the hand sizes match up. So let's try it. Will this animation have sound? It probably will. Yeah, I'll probably have like a impact sound to it, which I think is needed. It's just kind of why I wanted the dust clouds, which now I'm realizing are just not even going to be visible. But we can open up animation here, and this might help out visually. If we can put these two frames together and actually view them like, I guess this would come first. It'd be like, stamp, stamp, stamp. It kind of works. I think this kind of works. Luckily. So let me make this a little bit more visible here, because we won't need many layers here. And then we can make that maximum size. So if we were just to straight up let me hold this frame more and almost go like duplicate this one. We're just getting rough ideas here. So go. The reason I have it cutting out completely is because there will be nothing in frame at a certain point. So, you know, it'll be nothing, and then all of a sudden you see that come in and then stamp and then go back out. I think that works. I think maybe this hand is a little too big. I was trying to make it bigger because, you know, it's coming in from like a top-down angle, so it starts big and it gets like smaller. So if we delete that, we can even do like the onion skins here. And then maybe start up a little bit higher. And then maybe angle it a little bit more. You can make the puffs smaller and move them into the frame. Yeah, like, let's do that. Let's, we can do that for reference. Okay, so maybe this goes over a little bit more. Oh, another thing that we can do, this might help. This might help visually. Let's put that to the end there. Is we can take this and make a mask of it. And that should work. Okay, cool. I kind of don't like the blank parts where it cuts out. A little jarring. Okay, now it's looking a little weird. It's kind of like you do need the whole hand reference. Because the second we cut it off, it's like, yeah. I think we all know what we just watched there. So I think if I take, I think I can take both of these, and let's make that the center point of where we should scale down. So we might have to adjust what we're doing, where this is going. And it won't be like that fast and repetitive. So that'll help too. We're just looking for one stamp. Let me not loop. For once, I'm going to say let's not loop it. Because it's starting to look weird. So it'll be like... It has to be a rectangle. The artboard, yes, unfortunately. Mojave. Yeah, like imagine you're clicking a button. Oh, I didn't realize we sorry, I'll restream chat up again. So you can see your comments, DOS. So imagine, you know, you're clicking a button, you click a button like I'm doing. This honestly is a very good way to like think about it, is when I click spacebar, that's like if I like click the button. And it's starting to feel like not like this needs to be like way up here. And maybe even let's disable this real quick. We're looking at this layer. And if there's a way that we might need to like distort this a little bit. I think I might be hurting this a little bit. I think I can come down, pinch it. Like I'm trying to like pinch it a little bit. And then once we get the sketch right, it'll feel better. Right. Let's do what you suggested, JL. Let's we can make it where the puff clouds are a little bit more like in there. And smaller. That. And then if we took, I'm just gonna basically duplicate them. Let me do that a little bit better. For quick reference, poof. We don't really need any on this side. Now we're back to here. I click spacebar. I could even do it where I make 3 frames, quick frames, of the clouds animating. This frame is the one that's feeling weird. It doesn't feel like an accurate like perspective going from this to this. But maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's like what I need to do is the animation trick, which I guess we need to make like a completely new layer here. The animation trick being that we need to Disable this. So we know we like this. Put the opacity down on all of it. And let's use like a red. Let's sketch this and use like a red. So we have our square here. And then it needs to like go up. So then there'd be like another square. This is the tough part. I'm just trying to like boom. I think that makes sense. I think actually let me try one last thing. We were almost there. I think we were on the right track. This line specifically that I'm drawing now. Oh dang it. Let's bring that back. Okay. Was a little wonky there. Okay. Then we would draw I don't know if what I just did actually worked. I think it's on the right track. You guys can see what I'm doing. So that if I went here, and then let's just like heavily edit this real quick. Let's try to put this exactly where I have it. I'm doing like a warp here. About to really distort his hand. Poor Blue Cat's hand is. And we saved the actual version of it down here, which is why I'm cool with the distorting this. And so we'll hide that now. Like that angle right here that we had, this is the one that we had. Doesn't feel right. Versus like, that feels more like a stamp down. Boom. So then I'm gonna save this layer, just pull it out of what we're about to do. And let's bring this back so it's all cut off. And then this is if we opacity back. Boom. Yeah, does it look better? Okay, cool. Yeah, it was looking like there's a way to, I mean, I guess that's where it needs to go. But basically, we bring this back in. We're now gonna want something in between these two. Which, let's use like a different color for now. So we'd want something that goes here. And then we're gonna want, let me keep busting out different colors here. And then we're gonna want like a softened layer. Like there. So it comes in quick and like, well, I guess it would be a really quick animation. The green layer might be when it's coming back up. So, but that should work theoretically. So what might be good to test out is like sketching this in that way. We know we like this layer. So from there to there, and then it'll be like a softer The green and the blue will be when the stamp is coming up. Already stamping? Yeah. We can change the color of the hand. We can make the hand color anything. Maybe it is already stamping. Well, this layer needs to be a transparent layer. Boom. Boom. Like, quick. Very quick with the stamp down. And then maybe we could fake this. So very quick, and then instead of this layer going here, actually maybe it makes more sense to take let's duplicate this layer and try to fit it where that green is. So it doesn't accurately fit there, but then we're gonna erase the puff clouds. Make these feel different. And then this one will go here. I'm gonna warp this all crazy again. Why can't we do any? Oh, I see. Blue Cat's hand looks so funny to me. Alright, this is just for the reference here. Get rid of that. So funny. Okay. And like that. So now if we click spacebar, the last frame sucks. Okay, this frame sucks. Just delete that. Probably stretch this one out. Stamp it! And then let's add the second frame to this one, which is a duplicate layer. And we're going to shorten both of those. If this was going between that. And we will actually duplicate this twice. On this layer, there's no puffs. On this layer, there's puffs. And then on this layer, the little cloud puffs are like a lot smaller this way. This will be a little rough. I don't know if it'll quite make sense. I think that frame didn't need to be there. So now if we click spacebar, as if we're entering the action. Yeah! I think that works. Okay, now let's test out. Let's test out the loop. Before, when we did the loop, it was a little TOS. Let's give it longer to hang without anything happening. Boom. Puff. Puff. Oh, actually, maybe we duplicate that layer, put that there. Let's try that out. I think that works. I'm just trying to stretch these frames, see if anything happens. Make that one. Okay, way too long to lift up. I think we can delete that frame now. So I click. And if it's really accurate to how the experience would be, it'd be frame 0 is nothing, and then the second you click it. And then I'm gonna do no playback here. I think there's probably more frames I need. Let's see if we can make like a fake frame here. It goes up, and then we kind of just like scale up. Get our reference up. Dang it. Do this thing where my mouse. Anyway, it's not worth explaining. It'll click things for me. It's a little annoying. Where did the... Oh. There we go. I was gonna increase the size of it and have it be like right there. Just as like one more frame to kind of soften up the animation. It's a little too soft. Maybe it gets shorter. I need to make sure that what we're doing in this stage looks good and accurate, because once we start drawing it, I don't want to have to backtrack and figure this all out. And it does need to be quick. If it was taking too long, then it would ruin the experience. And then I'm going to play around with, if we took the entire thing here, and we did make it bigger, because technically this needs to be a lot bigger. Like that would be probably best there. And it's not quite centered, whereas like that would be centered. I think that works. Thanks for watching this, guys. Never know if this is interesting to watch or not. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to start actually inking this and animating it. Oh, you know what I should add? This might help out a lot, actually. Potentially. I kind of want to mimic the pencil look here. Let's get that color of pencil. And then I'm drawing Blue Cat blind here. Let's see how it goes for us. Let's see how it goes for us. I'm All right, I think I just drew something. I think I just drew something that's hidden right now. This was my Blue Cat blind. That's so bad. Let me grab something else here. Oh, actually, this works great. This looks good for a stamp. Now, how do we get that layer where I need it? Because, I mean, if you're going to stamp something, something should be underneath that stamp, you know? Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's start actually making this look better. I think I'm locked in now. I think we just trace frames. We just trace the frames now. Don't think about it. Just do it. Okay. We got this frame here. And now we can disable this. Oh, I forgot about how distorted this one was. But I'm still gonna draw it that way because it seemed to work. Oh, we're gonna need a... I didn't realize how big this artboard was. Okay. One thing I'll do before we get going is take just the hand here. I think it could go like... Not that it really matters, because you're not even going to see it. Just in case. It's good to do it right. I think that's more where the center of it is. Oh boy. Let's get started here. Bring in some guidelines, make it a little easier. just match that. Hopefully that works. It's weird drawing the distorted version of this. And pretty much everything I'm drawing over here doesn't even matter in the first place. So I shouldn't do what I'm doing and start over critiquing it. I think it's really the puff, the cloud puff animation will take, is what we should really focus on. Focus on making look good. I'm not gonna worry about it. Like I said, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna keep telling myself that. Okay. Cool. I think that part is done. It definitely looks a little wonky, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, it's like basically what I should try to do is like this line needs to actually be like there. But then how do I do that part? See, that's what I don't know. So let's move on. We can always come back to this frame. We can always come back to all of these frames. I was debating doing this with like a sketch layer first, but it makes more sense to just rip it and go for it. Clear the guides now. Alright, this one matters more. Do that one. We really had to draw this one once and then just worry about the puff animation. All right, so this part matters. Close. Very close. probably add like a little like edge around this to make it seem like the little emblem on top is sort of like in there. Oh, creaturess, sorry. GM, sorry, I did not see your comment for a second. GM, welcome on in. We're doing a little stamp animation here to kind of test out my animation skills. But it'll be a part of something. That's something we don't quite know yet. But thanks for joining. Thanks for watching the stream. It's gonna be like that, is what I'm thinking. Might need to angle that more. Oh, dang. I'm gonna angle this in more. Go like a little sharper. There, and then we're gonna have the thumb here. Thumb's gonna be the tough part. What program is this? This is Photoshop. Which, when it comes to animation, I actually don't recommend, but I love Photoshop too much. And so I try to make it work. Because you're just able to do more with like an actual animation software. But I love Photoshop. I'm a big fan of it when it comes to illustration. That off the screen there. Cool. Oh, drawing hands, y'all. It's a scary thing. Photoshop for animation, I haven't heard that one. It's been like 5 years since I used Photoshop. Maybe one day I'll come back to it. Curious what you use. Because like, for animation, yeah, there's definitely better programs. I think it's because I like frame-by-frame animation, and I pretty much can do that. What I miss out on is like, Toon Boom is like a good... Toon Boom is a good animation software. A little bit more complex, but a lot of the shapes that you make, instead of it being pure pixel, which Photoshop is, it's like this like hybrid. I think it's called bitmap. Like a vector and pixel. Somewhere in between that. But basically I could take some of these shapes and like edit the line work from there. I don't have to like erase and try to redraw it. So that's where it would really come in handy. Which is why I should try to learn. And maybe that's the, you know, evolution of this stream, is starting to teach myself. I just don't know how interesting that would be. But regardless, for illustration, which we do a lot of that on here, I do love Photoshop. Yeah, Procreate is great. Is a great tool. I think my issue with Procreate is simply I learned Photoshop first. And then I struggled with not having the same hotkeys that Photoshop has. And certain things that like are a part of my workflow that Procreate just does not do. Does that look better? That looks better. Okay. But Procreate is what I recommend to almost everyone when they're like, mainly people who ask like, how do I get started doing digital illustration? Like, just use Procreate. It's definitely the most accessible one. And it's good. It's also just a good program. Oh boy, this stamp animation will be the end of me though. I just hope it looks good in the end. The sketch version of it looked good. So that's what we're hoping for here. Staying positive. Making these guidelines just so I can stay on a somewhat straight line here. Oh my goodness. Let me finish the arm here. I'll be cutting off a lot of stuff. I zoom out one click. And then finish this. Just kind of go off screen with it. That way we can reposition this wherever we need to. I totally feel ya to switch when you have the... Yeah, that's the issue. Although when I... it is cool. I found like different workflows for when I use Procreate. Because I can't bring this drawing tablet, the one I'm drawing on, with me when I travel. Always bring my iPad if I need to draw something. And if I need to like sketch an idea out and get like the rough line work done, I'll do that all on Procreate sometimes. Also a keyboard. I love having a keyboard, I think. Let's see. Okay, I think that's fine. I'm gonna wait to do this like decorative part. That was giving me some trouble. Yeah, figure out a way. I think I need to like do it like that. I get the angle right a little bit better. I'm trying to make the edges like you're seeing more from this angle than this angle. This is a top-down view. Flamingo! Flamingo, did you get your I forget, I think I told you. I put the drawing in Discord. The flamingo with the pogo stick. I think that works. And then this piece I'm struggling with. So let's draw it exactly like the illustration there. Maybe that's all I need to do and not think of it. Is the rain and wind hitting you? Yes, it is. And I couldn't be happier. I'm so happy it's raining here. Very excited. Let's see. I could put this over here and show it. Over here. How about you? Did you get hit by the rain? There we go. We needed that. Okay, no. Yes, I did get to the airport on time. I did get to the airport on time. I love that you remembered that. Thank God. It actually was no issue at all. And I did get there exactly 10 minutes before it started boarding, which was all I could hope for. Rain sprinkle mixed with hard wind. Ooh. Actually, I haven't gone out yet. I did see the trees really swaying earlier. Why can't I? Oh, it's still a vector shape. Let's rasterize that. But how is security? Actually, and it might have been because my flight was at 5:30 a.m. That could have been the reason security was fine. But then I was leaving Atlanta because I grew up in Georgia. I go back to Atlanta a lot. And that seemed fine too. And I got to the airport at 6:30 p.m. or like my flight took off at 6:30 p.m. So it wasn't too big of a deal. So I'm happy about that. I'm very, very, very happy that that was not an issue. Exactly 10 minutes before, you're crazy. I can't stand being at the airport, so I try to get there as close to the boarding time as possible. Because like, and trust me, I totally understand why people get there early. Jeej has missed a flight before, or actually a few flights before, and so that's why they're scarred with going on planes or getting to the airport early. But I just can't stand being there, and so I'm like, you know, if I try to get there 10 minutes before boarding time, you've got like 30 minutes until the plane takes off, and you got an assigned seat. So it's like the worst thing that could happen is you have to check your bag because there's no like overhead space for you. And that's okay. I would take that as like a penalty. And so it's like you technically have 30 more minutes. I mean, if I get there 10 minutes early, then I have like 40 minutes. But you know, if I get there as it's boarding, then you get that buffer time. And it always seems to work out. I actually have... Now I can say it because I'm back from the flight, but I've never missed a flight. I've never been late for one. I have cut it one time. I cut it real close, and I was actually like... I was the guy sprinting at the airport. And it's always the worst when, you know when like... I'm just gonna throw out like a number and gate number here. But it's like, you are gate A3, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, A3, like I'll get past security and it'll be like the one right there. But then you realize the numbers are going in reverse, so it starts with like A20, and you have to like go. You have to go. You realize you are on the opposite side and have to sprint. Funny. I know Jeej is mad. Yeah, when I'm with Jeej, we get there early. That I compromise. It's when I'm alone. That's when I'm like, I'm gonna cut it as close as possible. I want to get as much sleep as possible. I want to not have to stand at the airport for as long as possible. Although when I was flying a lot more, like every month, I did, and I technically still have it, but I got the like the Delta reserve card so that I could go into the Delta Sky Lounge. I'm also a Delta brand loyalist because I'm from Atlanta, and that's like the Delta hub. It's always easy getting to Atlanta with Delta, and that's why I do it. But when I had the Sky Lounge, it was a little bit better because I could if I got there super early, I could spend like 2 hours or like an hour in the lounge. And that way I'm not just like standing in the mess of everything. But it made more sense when I flew more often because it's not really it's not an expense that's worth it, really. Worst case scenario running through my head is always I missed my flight. Yeah, it's like you can't panic. I totally get that though. I guess I don't have the panic, which is kind of probably a bad thing. Also, this blue cat head looks wonky. I shouldn't have drawn it with a reference. I should have just drawn it. That's how I feel about San Diego Airport. There's literally nowhere to sit. I had to get a drink at the bar to sit down. Yeah, exactly. And of course it kept getting delayed. Delta Blue, yay. Exactly. I ride on the plane that has Blue Cat on the side of it. I should, honestly, I should stop being a Delta loyalist and look at other plane carriers, because it's probably cheaper if I do that. There's no point in spending so much so much money. I wish the CC animations were on. Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Oh man, so my flight back, my TV didn't work. And it was really sad. I was like, the flight back, sometimes I'm okay with not watching a single thing on the flight because I put my music in and then like try to like fall asleep, or I just like kind of go into like a headspace where I'm just like thinking about stuff and listening to music at the same time. But this time I was like, ooh, I can't wait to get on this plane, like watch a movie. And I had the aisle seat. When I have the aisle seat, I'll like drink as much soda or sometimes even beer as possible, because I'm like, well, if I had to go to the bathroom, it's no big deal. I'm the aisle seat. I can just like go back and forth. I was so excited, and then my TV didn't work. And the whole time I was like kind of mad about it, but in the back of my head I was like, if I can get reimbursed for this, I won't care. And so after like, it was like 3 hours into the flight, and the flight attendants were finally like, okay, this isn't working. And I was like, so can I get like any kind of compensation for this? So I got 4,000 sky miles, which I will take that as a W, because like I said, I'm not the pickiest person about having a in-flight TV or not. And just about every single person, almost every single person on this plane was watching the Kansas City Detroit game. So I was just watching. I was just like looking at everyone else's screen, and I was like, okay, I'm not a big sports person, but I can watch sports and enjoy it. So I was watching that the whole time. Why? Be a Delta frequent flyer. If you like it, you like it. That's true, and I get the sky miles for it. And I had racked up enough sky miles that it paid for my flight to Japan and back, which was really cool. Very, very cool. Then you start landing on the ships or something. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? We actually almost had to do an emergency landing. There was a person in first class who like passed out. And like, it was a little scary because it goes from like being like a really dark room, so it's a night flight, and they just like beam all the lights on, and like the flight attendants were sprinting back and forth. I think the person was okay. They walked off of the flight, but they needed like oxygen and everything. So I wasn't quite sure what happened. I mean, because the security line is always short, and you never have to run to a gate because they're always right there. Unless you're in like the Atlanta airport, which I have to frequent all the time. It's like the Atlanta airport is actually like the biggest airport in the world. And you have to take like you then have to like take a train. Oh, San Diego. Okay, yeah. Because like, and I think that's why I will get to the Atlanta airport earlier, because I know that a lot of the times you have to like jump on that trolley and like go to your gate. And sometimes you're really far away, but luckily Atlanta to LA, you are the first terminal. You're like terminal A. And so you can like walk that very easily. But yes, yeah. That's why, honestly, I want to start flying out of the, I live closer to the Burbank airport, in Los Angeles. And that is a small airport, which is very nice. It's very nice to go in smaller airports. Okay. I've spent a lot of time on this one frame, but I think that looks good. The problem I'm worried about is that little sliver at the bottom of like right here. I hope that ends up looking fine. So I'm not gonna worry about the puff yet, so it's gonna go like boom, boom. Yeah. This is tough. I had a feeling today would be a tough animation. We're not gonna worry about any of the little cloud puffs here. And then really, I could technically duplicate this frame and just sort of, because this is what I did in the sketch. I just line it up here. Maybe this is easier than I thought, because these frames are really just like duplicated frames, and I just like shift the positioning up. And I think I scaled this up too to fit there better. And I probably should scale this one up just a wee bit. Okay. Let's see if it works. We should add this mask in, because this is how it will actually look. Look like boom. I think that works. I'm trying not to care too much, because when this gets put into the thing it's going in, there's always room for improvement. And it's like, if it works, it gets the point across. That's all that really should matter right now. Curious what y'all think. I think there's one little thing I'm like, oh, and then could add the thing that's getting stamped underneath it. And I could maybe instead duplicate this frame and put this frame at the end and sort of like switch those two, so it goes. I think I liked it how it was the first time. Okay. Sorry, I guess I wasn't specific. Just like, if this looks like a stamp, I don't, Flamingo, you might not have seen the original reference here. So let me show that off first, and potentially to anyone else who did not see it. Oh, what? I can't duplicate that? Weird. Okay, let me do this, and then do that again. Okay, so this is the original animation here. I think that line I was talking about could be bumped down. So, man, the sketch always looks better, I swear. But that'll be it. And we have to add the little dust puffs, but I'm saving that for the very last second. Yeah, it's like this part. Basically taking another line here. Like this could have gone down more. And then what I might also do is, instead of leaving this like when the stamp goes down and the puff clouds go out, I think I'm gonna animate each one of those so that you get kind of that like line wobbliness. It's like I'm drawing the exact frame 4 times, and so I'll draw that 4 times individually. And it'll get some of that line wobbliness to it to kind of make it feel a little bit more alive, I think. But we're gonna add, we're gonna lower this line. I think it could have, see the top here. need to make sure they're all kind of in the same. Line right there. And maybe that's too far down now. Let's bust out the reference here. Go back here. Yeah, I think that just feels more 3D. It has more depth to it, which then means the 2 frames after it I need to adjust. And we get here. Corner in the same spot, and then we'll duplicate that again. And on this one, we're gonna go up even further. That should be fine. Okay. You don't even see the blue cat head, I just realized. Cosmic! How's it going? Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in. Cosmic, I was thinking about the Pokemon run today. I can't play super long, but I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm probably gonna color this. Maybe add the cloud puffs or not. And then there's some other stuff I want to do today. Off stream, unfortunately. Other stuff that's good for me to work on. So, you're my brand new pair of eyes. I was replaying that struggle crit yesterday too. Yeah, dude, I was thinking about it all weekend. I was like, ooh, I just want to keep playing Kaizo because that Armaldo is so cool. And for anyone who cares, we had an Armaldo who, the only thing he couldn't hit, he literally could not, any of the moves did not work on a Sableye. Because the Sableye is Dark and Ghost. And so, like, those typings, what we had, our moveset didn't work. And so we had to use all of our moves until we had nothing left. And when you have nothing left, your Pokemon starts to like struggle. And struggle will hit. But you also take life to do it. So we did that. It took about like 20 minutes. Maybe not 20 minutes. It took a while. But we won. And then the run went on and it only got better from there. We just kept getting better moves. Like, we could full clear all the dungeons. It's a big deal for any Kaizo people out there. Pretty cool. But what I'm curious about, Cosmic, because you have not seen this, does this look like a stamping things? It's quick animation, just very quick. Does not need to be a lot of frames. Want me to share the clip? Yes, for those who care. It does. Okay, cool. Thank you. I think that'll be a common theme on this stream. It's like whenever someone new comes in, I'm like, does this look good or not? You're seeing this for the first time. Looks great. Thank you, Sheepy. I think I'm ready to color it. And then good stamp. Thank you. I need all the positive reinforcement. I just want to get better at animation. And it's because it just allows us to do so much. Stamp of approval. Yes. Oh, that actually, this might make a good, this might double as an emote. This might make a cool emote. Because what's underneath could just be like a check mark or the thumbs up guy. Like it could just be the stamp and then like underneath is like something. And then that is the emote. We might have killed two birds with one stone here, actually, today. We did make an animation or emote. Yeah, like that underneath with like a circle or a square around it. I think would be so good. Poor birds. Yes. What Cosmic posted is like the struggle strat. And what was wild that struggle is like basically we didn't know struggle could like crit. And when it crit, it like basically saved us. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is take this frame and we're gonna draw it 3 more times. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth doing. I think it'll make a big difference. 2, 3. So, which means we need to take, like it's gonna be static in the same exact spot, but put it right here and then extend it there. So then we can do this and see it underneath at a lower opacity. So this is a little tedious, but I think it makes a huge difference. We'll disable that and we will disable that. Because it's staying on such a static frame, I think it has a slight line wobbly-ness to it. It'll make a big difference. So let's get to it. But yeah, holy crit. Yeah. I was freaking out. I was like, that was the crit we needed here. Okay. So buckle in, we're about to get cozy and just trace this. Because any kind of like line imperfection will show, but I think it'll show in a good way. Grab your coffee, get cozy. We're tracing. Ooh, stamp with crit underneath. Crit! Yeah! Yeah! There's so many things we can do with this stamp. I love it. Actually, I'll even export this for y'all. If anyone wants to add like anything they want underneath it. Because it should be an easy, I think it's an easy thing to do. If I export it as a GIF, you could open, if you have Photoshop, I guess, you could open it up in Photoshop and get like the frame layers. Maybe it's a little harder than I thought, but I will do it. If anyone wants their, the stamp animation, then you can just throw anything under the stamp. I think that'd be fun, actually. I need to just adjust my chair real quick. No, not like that. I need to go forward and then... There we go. I am hoping what I said about like the line wobbliness and drawing this over multiple times. I hope it actually shows. I hope it actually makes a difference. I think it will. It's like not as extreme as like Ed, Ed, Netty, Wine wobbliness. Weeness. Oh man. I remember in like grade school when people were like, you figured out where, like, I think the weenus or whatever was like on your elbow or something, but you know, you're a kid in grade school and it's just the funniest thing to say. I forgot about that actually. Once we're done with this frame, I am going to test out if it's worth drawing the next two. Because we might be able to just fake it, I'm realizing, and save a bunch of time. Travels were good, actually. It was, I had a lot of fun. And the weather in Georgia was like textbook, like perfect weather in Georgia. Because it can be really gross and humid in Georgia. It was a beautiful wedding. I got to see all my my buddies from high school, and it was overall an amazing time. I really enjoyed being able to go. And the travels itself, like the airplane, was also good. But I didn't have my TV on the plane, which kind of sucked. But it was no big deal in the end. Oh, also when the flight landed, it was a pretty jolty landing. Like it first hit, and then they like hit the runway, and then he like slammed on the brakes, and someone's like big metal water bottle went from like the back of the plane, just like slung shot to the front, like on the ground. It was just like, and it like hit to where the like flight attendants sit at the front of the plane. It was so funny, actually. But yeah, I think they did it because they had to do like not an emergency landing, but they needed to land as quickly as possible because someone did need medical attention. And so they slammed on those brakes. I'm trying to think of what else I did. It was pretty much just the wedding. Oh, I guess one fun thing for any camera people out there. The groom, the guy who's getting married, had a Super 8 camera. And he was like, yo, could you like film certain moments of the wedding and just everything with this Super 8? Like, here's a bunch of film. Have fun. And I've never shot on a Super 8 before, and it's a lot of fun, actually. It's cool because like the record button is like a trigger. It's like when you pull the trigger, it like starts filming. When you let go, it stops. And I love that so much. The last flight I was on, we came in for the landing. And then just before touching down the plane, sped up and we basically took off again to avoid oh my gosh. That's terrifying. Oh man. That's scary, actually. Man, that's the thing, like, I don't get too scared about flights, but sometimes you think about it. Like, it's a scary thing to do. You are at the will of the pilot. But luckily, it seems like in your case, the pilot managed to keep it safe. Stamp of disapproval for that one, yeah. Not happy. Yeah, we need like, oh man, we need multiple stamp emotes. Maybe that's what I add to 7TV. I just make like a bunch of stamp emotes. Stamp of approval, stamp of disapproval, crit, stamp. Okay, sorry, we're almost done here. That took a little bit longer than I thought. So I think we're gonna fake it for the next 2 frames, which is basically just duplicating the 2 frames I have drawn and just cycling between the 2. And it should, I think it should have the same effect. I'm also realizing that so much of this is not even on the screen, so it's just sort of not worth it. And then we can go in and color it. And I might save the puff clouds till later and just do that off stream. Because I cannot get this line. This line doesn't even matter, but I'm caring about it. Because the puff clouds don't really matter. It won't change what this will be used for, and then I can easily add them in and just swap out assets. Because I would rather get this done so I can pass it over to Link and he can start using it. Cool. So I think coloring it's probably the game plan here. So we're going to take these 2 frames and just simply duplicate it. And then let's delete that frame, hide this. And so let's see if that did anything. It did a little something, and I'm glad I decided not to draw the other frames there. Okay, we'll enable the. This is how it will actually look. And I'm wondering if I could play out the scenario where I add a frame. So we're just like slowing down the animation now. I think every frame is exactly the same size. I think that's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, everything is 3 frames per second. Feels a little slow. It does need another frame. You think? Like, another wiggly frame? Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Like one of these frames? Because that's all, you can kind of see the line wobbliness there. If I gotta do that too. Oh, yes. Yes, I agree. And as far as smoothness goes, it definitely needs more frames. I 100% agree with you. Really, we might be able to fake some of it. What if this is one, like this frame? Boom, like that first frame, you need to barely see it. It needs to like warp in. And then this frame will hang. This one's tough because right now we don't have the cloud puffs, which are like the other part of the animation here. So I'm gonna lower these. And then when he lifts up, that should take a sec, and then this one should be a lot faster. The only reason I'm not trying to make it super smooth is because I want this to be a very short animation. Because essentially, I guess what I think I already said this earlier, what this will be used for is like, you will be clicking, and the second you click, a stamp comes in, and you'll be clicking multiple times. So I want that stamp to be as fast as possible. When it lifts up, all you see... see, that's what's awesome. See, like, that's like, boom. And I think the cloud puffs are gonna, like, those help a lot. Because if we look at, this will be the reference here. You know? And when you see, I think the cloud puffs, like... Oh, does it not go on long enough? mean, this is pretty, sheepy. It's too bad half of the frames aren't a thing. Yeah. And we do need to add the thing underneath all of this. But for now, I think we can, I'm going to color it, and then I'm probably going to stop there for the animation. And then I'll probably play some Pokemon for just a little bit. I think my goal is, it's either we beat Surge, and that's the goal for today, or we get past Rock Tunnel, and that's the goal for today. And we get to Lavender Town, because once we get to Lavender Town, then like another big portion of the game opens up where you're just like grinding for XP the whole time. So that's gonna take a while, and I definitely don't want to do that today. Okay, so that's a really long. I'm gonna stretch this out. So all of these should be 2, and we have to imagine that there's like dust flying up. Agreed. We beat Erica, and that's the goal for today. Oh man, I can be convinced so easily. It depends how it goes. I can be convinced so easily. That's the bad part. Is yeah, I can be convinced to keep going. Because this is such a good run that I want to see it keep going so badly. We will. Yeah, I forgot how wonky this frame was. You see that Game Freak leak? Wait, what? For Wind and Surf? Is it like a new title? Is it like the newest gen? Alright, let's get a Blue Cat Blue here. Let's just quickly start coloring this in. Codename Gaia. Gaia? Did I pronounce that right? Releasing in 2026. Oh, that's coming up. Codename Ringo. Legends 3. Oh. A new Legends game. Codenames. New Pokemon game with Kanto Johto. Oh my. Wait. That's the one I'm excited about. Whatever Codename Seed new Pokemon game with Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, that's the only one I care about. Those I genuinely... Not that I'm a Gen 5 hater, because Gen 5 is also decent, but the first 4 generations of Pokemon I think are peak. I think it is like... that was when it started to go down, which means like Gen 5 was still good, but that was on its way down. And everything after that just started to get worse, in my opinion. I know other people have different opinions. But I think the first 4 generations of Pokemon were like, if you look at the Pokedex of those 4 generations, it's like perfection. We don't have any fucking, sorry, excuse my language, any trash Pokemon, any ice cream Pokemon, like, it didn't get lazy with the Pokemon design. Even though there were some heaters in Gen 5, there's some really good Pokemon. I saw something that said open world game with procedural island base. Oh, how to train your Pokemon? Pokemon games tend to, yes, Pokemon games do tend to underdeliver. Ringo from the Beatles is gonna be in Pokemon? Could you imagine? Oh man. Yeah, I have strong opinions about the first 3 generations, which is why I love Kaizo. Like, truly peak. But I like a lot of the legendaries from Gen 4 as well. Like Giratina is one of my favorites. Okay. And I was debating, actually, if I was to beat it's not Super Kaizo. If I was to beat Kaizo instead of trying Super Kaizo, I might actually try doing Kaizo challenge but on platinum instead. It's so dark in this room. Oh, I got an idea. Here, one sec. I'm gonna adjust my windows. The overcast clouds were just like so much harsh light. Guys, Taco Bell's has a 90s throwback right now. The chili cheese burrito is back. Oh no. I told myself I wasn't allowed to have Taco Bell for a little while. I had Taco Bell at the wedding. The wedding I was at, we did the classic, like, with weddings, I feel like the reception dinner, or no, the rehearsal dinner, sorry, the rehearsal dinner. Basically, Friday night before the wedding, I feel like is when people actually, like, party the hardest. And so we were up very late, and then someone was like, I'm gonna do a big order of Taco Bell. Does anyone want any? And I did that, and like, ooh, I was fighting for my life that night, but luckily, I was still fine, but I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh no, I might be in trouble here. And then another time I was in trouble recently with Taco Bell, and I was like, okay, maybe I pumped the brakes on Taco Bell for a little while. Holding off to the Baja Blast Pie is out next month. Talk about the wedding. Technically, it wasn't the wedding that gave us Taco Bell. It was us ordering it that night because it was like 3 a.m. Hopefully the bride didn't No. The bride and groom were not there for this. This was when we went back to like the hotel. Yeah, oh my gosh. Could you imagine? I need to figure out the coloring here. I'm gonna just color it because it'll be easy to adjust the colors afterwards. I just want to see it colored, so I'm gonna use these colors for the stamp for now. Wearing white the next day is a sketch. It's risky business, that's for sure. Alright, looking for this one, we can just duplicate it multiple times. Yeah, it was risky business, but luckily I woke up the next day and I wasn't hungover or anything, so that was cool. That was a win. I felt fine. It was just the middle of the night. I got worried. Ooh, and then I had biscuits and eggs in the morning. Man, biscuits, the biscuits in Georgia taste better. I love a good southern biscuit. But I'm probably just biased on that one. I just love biscuits. Do that. I was using this color. But man, I feel like there could be other people in the chat who went to a wedding recently, because it feels like wedding season. Like October is like the perfect weather in a lot of places. But then I swear this happens every time. Whenever I'm at a wedding, there's like another friend that I have with their partner, and they're always like, and guys, we got a wedding. We just announced that the wedding's gonna come up in like next year in this month. And I'm like, I'm happy. I'm happy because I get to see everyone, but y'all, there have been way too many weddings recently. And when you don't live in the state that all of your friends live in and they're getting married at, it starts to add up quick with flights and hotels and stuff. But obviously I'm gonna come. I wouldn't miss it for anything. I'm scared to know what the Baja Blast pie would taste like. Honestly, same. But if Mo is trying it, I'm trying it. Like a sweet stamp of citrus graham cracker and America. Oh, actually, that kind of sounds like it. Hopefully better than the gelato. Kind of sounds like a. Ooh, that. I just used the paint bucket tool and that worked perfectly. Wait, can I do? Boop? Yes. Oh my god. Kind of sounds like a key lime pie, like a twist on that. And I do love key lime pie. I'm a big fan of key lime pie, actually. Okay, so we should be able to duplicate this 3 times, and it should. Yeah, there's one inconsistency I already see. Is this the first time the pie is debuting? Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, you get the same vibes from it. Cool. I do love key lime pie. But in small doses. Key lime pie is oh wait, I could duplicate this again. Oh, I might have just saved a lot of time here, actually. Kind of like eggnog. Like, I like eggnog, but I can only have it in small doses. If it's any good, I think it would be good for the first slice. Try a tiny slice, but unbearable if you eat more. Yeah, I'll get it for stream. We'll do a live taste test here. I think I just can increase the size of that slightly. If this works, we're gonna save a lot of time here. Yeah, that looks like it fits. Okay, cool. Go just a tiny bit up. I think I actually might have been good where I was before. That looks like it definitely fits everywhere. Okay. Perfect. Oh my gosh, okay. That's saving us a lot of time here. Oh. I need to duplicate. Yeah, they released it at their lab. Oh, right, I forgot the Taco Bell lab. When are they gonna bring back the Taco Bell Chihuahua? I know. It was such good branding. Oh, I just realized, here, let's, even though we most likely will never, ever see this, it's good to just complete it anyways. Just in case, here. Oh my goodness. I can't get this line right, what? There we go, okay. Oh, look who's back, yeah! Got me right in time. We're about to switch over to Pokemon now. Oh wait, is Taco Bell's dog name Gidget? I didn't realize that. Also, welcome in, Ravi. How you doing? I'm so curious, Ravi, if you ended up doing your little road trip. I think you said you would do it this weekend. I think everything is basically covered here. I wonder if the Taco Bell pie is vegan. We can all taste it, test it together. I highly doubt it is. I don't know if I'll have time flying out Monday. Ah, yeah. Man, the end of the year just really picks up in busyness. I swear. Alright, well this is the... Oh, that's so fast. Boom. Wait. I didn't realize that that didn't touch the edge either. Cool. This is why we're doing this. Catching all the strays here. It's crazy. 3 events booked on the same date. Oh my gosh. It'll go by quick. Maybe get that busy. It goes by so quick. Perfect. Okay. So this animation's super fast. But the reason it looks more fast is because a lot of it's getting cropped out. So how's magic in ATL? Oh brother, I've been waiting to tell you about this. First game I played was a pod, like a full 4. 2 of the people were semi new. No, I don't say new, but they probably don't play a lot. And I think when people are newish and don't play a lot, the combat phase is where they get like the most scared, understandably. And so no one was doing combat, and like my hand was like a bunch of counter spells, and like that was it. And so there were multiple turns where it'd get to my turn and I couldn't do anything because I was like, and I couldn't attack anyone because if I attacked anyone with my creatures, I would have died. They would have died. Like everyone else's creatures were stronger than mine. So I was waiting for anyone to make a move because I was like, I have a reaction to this. And then my brother ended up winning because he got the perfect hand at the end and got like a unlimited like an unlimited duplicate kind of thing, or he just like had they're called thopters, but I call them helicopters or choppers. And so he eventually went from like 10 to like 100, and then he just like used flying on all of us and just killed us. So he ended up winning in the end, which I was okay with. And then I played my brother one-on-one, and he drew not the best hand, and I drew probably the most like god hand I could have possibly drawn in Magic with my deck. And I had the Reliquary Tower, which gives me no maximum hand size, and I had literally 20 cards in my hand. So I also had the Ophidian Eye that anytime I attack, I draw a card, and I just kept attacking. So I just had like all these options in my hand, and I saw my commander / deck at its like fullest potential, and it was really cool to see. But one thing I did learn, Ravi, which I'm very excited about, is that if I cast a spell and you counter it, it still counts as me casting it. So like my cast triggers still count. And I have an article I have the rulings to show that, to prove it. So I'm very pumped because there's so many times that you've counterspelled me and you're like, didn't happen. Now it does. It still doesn't like resolve, like, but the trigger still counts. Like Y'shtola still counts. I was so pumped about that. Yeah, my brother was like, no, I'm 100% positive that still counts. Now, I thought the same thing. I was like, cool, I'm glad to know that, because it made sense. When you talked about it, it made sense too. But then I got heard in like an analogy. It was like, I cast a fireball at you. Fireball is hurling at you, and then you counter that. The fireball was still casted, but it did not hurt you. So it's like okay, that kind of makes sense. But anyways, I was pumped because like, yes, I've gotten in trouble so many times not thinking like it worked this way. Okay, I'm done with the drawing portion of the stream today. I'm gonna play a little bit of Pokemon now, as I said earlier, and I think I have a certain cutoff point for that because there's some stuff I know I want to work on off stream. before I potentially go out again tonight to play more Magic. So I want to get everything done. So, oh, I shouldn't have closed my laptop like that. Here, let me full cam it. So, good stuff. I bet the people who have no idea what Magic is are like, what did you just say? What were all those words you just said? I'm addicted to it. But it was so much fun. And again, it was really cool to see like my deck at its fullest potential. Okay, let me put that over there. It's over here. Good stuff today. Something Clon Mander decks being OP. It was OP. It was crazy. It was just like, you're not supposed to have 20 cards in your hand unless you like can manage, like get the right cards to do that. And it was wild because like with that many cards in your hand, you just have like all of the options in the game. He's like, all right, I'm gonna remove this from the game. I'm like, no, I have a counter spell for that. He's like, I'm gonna counter that. No, I have a counter spell for that too. It's just like he could not touch me. It was amazing. Yeah, his clone just playing OP cards. Whoa, 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 whoa. You cannot say that of all people. I told him about your deck and he's like, man, does he just want people to hate him? And I was like, it's a fun deck. I actually like playing against Yuriko. It's a fun like mental challenge to get over. So if anyone's watching on Telegram, X, or YouTube, this is the part of the stream where I peace out. And I almost clicked stop streaming instead of stop recording. So I will catch you all on the next drawing stream where we keep doing Clonimals. That'll be Thursday. Otherwise, if you're on Twitch, sit tight. We're gonna play some Kaizo Ironmon and hopefully stay alive. We have a very, very cool run going.